faith, intelligence, expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Like, how much am I willing to give up and commitment, and are not committed to the struggle, acquiescing to the struggle, they're committed.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here. First of all, once again, I want to thank everybody for your well wishes. I'm well on the mend, not 100% yet, but getting closer and closer each day. So once again, thank you for your well wishes. Second, again, I want to encourage you to support the work that we're doing at the Odyssey Project. If you're watching this video on YouTube, there's always a link to the site to check out what we're doing, to access some of the resources that are available to the public, and to support what we do. If you are of the newer age and you prefer supporting through Cash App, we have set up a Cash App account some time ago, and people do use it. So we do appreciate the support of those who have shown their support. We are definitely in need of support, and we want to encourage you to support the work that we're doing. What I want to do now is I want to introduce a brother that I had not heard of until this point. His name is Rizza Islam. He's a member of the Nation of Islam, and he is specifically addressing something that I have been highlighting for some time now, and that is the growing number of missing Black women and children, and the ultimate end, which is human trafficking, sex trafficking, organ harvesting, etc. And he points to a unique element and perspective that I want you guys to pay attention to. When you finish watching the video, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add my brief commentary to it. It's not a long watch at all, but check it out. And then you guys can let me know what you think.
First, I'm going to say peace to everybody. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you or peace be with you. Brother Rizza Islam. I notice now that everyone is starting to get a little more serious about things, and particularly about Black women. I know it's very unfortunate that it takes something so severe, so horrific to occur in order for us as a people to get moving. So an estimated 75,000 plus Black women are missing. Okay. A child is pushed into underground sex trafficking at least once every 3 minutes in America. As of right now, we are dealing with thousands going missing every year, between 3,000 and 6,000 going to the underground sex trafficking on a regular. Now, for the Black women, we are going to single them out and specifically talk about them, because the question is, why is it that, one, we haven't heard about it? Why is it that, two, now that we are hearing about it, why is it not on the mainstream media? Number three, why has it gone this far and been allowed to get to such a point where so many of them are missing? Number one, America is currently in debt. America is over $20 trillion in debt, according to her and according to Wall Street. But according to the actual statistics, it's a little over $60 trillion in debt. So America needs to make money. Okay? America in no way is discriminating as it pertains to making money. America will do anything to make money. It will go and steal oil and resources from other countries. It will kill people for mineral wealth. It will even allow its own children and citizens and women to be trafficked for sex trafficking. Why do I say this? Why do I even bring this topic up in connection with Black women missing? The underground sex trafficking, organ trafficking ring collectively across the planet makes a little over $150 billion. Again, remember, keep in mind, America is in debt. to the tune of tens of trillions. So America needs to make money by any means necessary. Also, black women are the #1 least protected women. I'm going to say that again. Black women are the #1 least protected women per demographic, per nationality, etc. Now, I'm saying in America. In other countries, they are dealing with the same problem with their women. They are dealing with sex trafficking in Asia. They are dealing with sex trafficking in Mexico. They are dealing with some sex trafficking in India. They are dealing with sex trafficking in Europe. They are dealing with sex trafficking even in certain parts of Africa, throughout the islands of the Caribbean, etc., etc. However, in America, the black woman is not protected, and it is not a secret. Because it is not a secret, justifies its occurrence so flagrantly, so consistently. You are dealing with people, evil, wicked people, who see an opportunity to capitalize monetarily off of a specific demographic which does not have security. People who wish to put women into underground sex trafficking, people who wish to put children and women and anybody into organ trafficking to steal organs for money. They have to find a demographic of people that are not secured. There is a reason why you don't see Chinese people heavily involved in the sex trafficking in America. They are involved in China, but in America, there's a reason why you don't see a whole lot of women, white women, who blatantly get pushed into the underground sex trafficking ring. Some of them do, but there's a reason why the women, white women, are not heavily in that demographic. They do it legally. They'll just go into the porn industry, okay? And then we have a certain section of women that go into being prostitutes and go into the porn industry. But specifically, we are talking about the illegal, involuntary detaining and trafficking, robbing, kidnapping of children and women, but specifically black women. The main group of people who are responsible for black women are black men. The main group of people who have been speaking negatively about black women also are black men. And because we do that, we are promoting to those who wish to take our women that it is advantageous, that it's a benefit to them, that it's possible, that they can do it, and there more than likely won't be anyone to stop them because we disrespect our own women. We call our own women bitches and hoes. We call our own women all these different names. We demonstrate to the world that we don't give a damn about them, and that, hey, you can do whatever you want to. Because I say whatever, I do whatever to them. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about them. I don't give a damn. So what we are telling the world is that they don't have to give a damn either. Now, I hope I'm making this clear enough for you, because I don't plan to be on here long at all. But I had to say my piece because everybody else is speaking their piece. But I don't see enough men speaking the truth. So I'm going to say it again. The #1 group of people who are responsible for the protection of black women are black men. But also the #1 group of people who are responsible for black women not being protected, not being respected, and being disrespected are black men. There would not be 75,000 plus black women missing if anytime a black woman went missing, we'd shut down cities. There would not be 75,000 plus black women missing if, when black women go missing, there would be a manhunt all across the news, all across cities, and we'd be out with flashlights, with dogs, with parties, looking for them. There would not be 75,000+ black women missing if the artists would stop promoting the degradation of black women. And if they were to do music promoting, if you mess with black women, we gonna crack your head open. If they were to do that, then it would be a completely different story. So the music has to change indefinitely. You cannot promote the degradation of black women anymore and then simultaneously complain and become confused when they are missing, or when they are being abused, or they are being sold into underground sex trafficking, when they come up missing and dead, when their body parts get chopped up and sold all across the country. You can't be confused, because you are the #1 group of people promoting it. Us, we, us, black men, us, we, us, black men. And we are a part of it because we are getting checks. We're getting checks, we're getting paid to promote how to disrespect our black women. We're getting checks to promote how to abuse our women. We're getting checks to promote and to teach. We're basically teaching people how to disrespect our women. We're teaching them. We're training them. We're training them. We're training the world on how to abuse black women. We're training the world. Now, mind you, we're not just training them and doing it in this way because it's just something that we originated with. No, the white man did this to us first. And now we take it out on ourselves, and we perpetuate the same mentality and the same activities and the same mental condition that was forced upon us. So we have become the oppressors of our own people because we ourselves have been oppressed for so long. So now it is something that we have transitioned and transformed into, which we have to come up out of. We have to come up out of. And again, I don't give a damn about what none of y'all talking about. Any of you who are rappers, any of you who want to open your damn mouth and say anything about, oh, Rizza, you capping, you. First of all, bro, shut the hell up. I'm speaking on behalf of real men who are out here dealing with this nonsense. You know, brothers who have sisters, brothers who have cousins, nieces, some of y'all who have daughters. We have mothers, we have aunties. I don't give a damn about you saying cap. Every other year, some other damn word that you try to describe to remove yourself from accountability and remove yourself from being responsible for what the hell is going on. Miss me with the nonsense. I'm not no damn rapper. I don't fit into that little world that you want to put people in when you want to remove yourself from being responsible. Every black man is responsible for black women, and black women are also responsible for themselves. But because we are the men, natural men, we have a responsibility. There is nothing that we can say to get around this. Nobody is going to protect our women until we do. Nobody's going to speak up for our women until we do. Even them speaking up for themselves, they're still not taking that serious because every nation knows that the men protect the borders. We protect the nation. We protect the women. They're not going to take our women serious until we standing right behind them, backing up every word that they say. We have to enforce what the women say. We are the protectors. That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. So I had to speak that piece. I also had to let you know that America is sanctioning. America is a part of it. Because so many people are wondering, why is it that you haven't heard it on the news? Why is it that you haven't heard it? Because America's getting paid. She's getting a piece of the pie for the women going missing. Hello. Billions of dollars. America's not going to sit there and just say, let's shut it all down. Let's spend money on the police to go and shut down sex trafficking when we are benefiting from it. I know some of y'all don't think that America would do anything like this. Some of us are still stuck thinking, oh, America would never. Your president put children in cages, for Christ's sake, publicly. So please, we have to protect the women. And sisters, you have to protect yourself. You can't run around here demanding respect from men if you voluntarily disrespect yourself constantly, disrespect your own sisters constantly, you call yourself out of your name constantly. You can't do that because a lot of the brothers, the men out here are still working on themselves, and it's difficult for them to respect you when they see you demonstrating that you don't respect yourself. I know, and that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. We should respect you regardless to whatever you call yourself. We should respect you. But I'm saying the reality is you're dealing with broken men that are being put back together. You're dealing with niggas. We were broken. So now we are becoming men again. So you need to help us by helping yourself. We have to help one another, because I'll be damned if we continue this trend of, oh, well, here's another issue. Our women are missing. You know, hey, it is what it is. You got black men saying, well, look, they shouldn't be disrespecting themselves. You got black women saying, well, hell, the men don't respect us, so I might as well just go do what I'm going to do. Hold on. Everybody got to take responsibility. Everybody. Black women and black men. But when it comes to protection, black men are #1. It's our job, bro. It's that simple. I don't care who disagrees. I really don't. I sincerely don't care if you disagree, because every single one of you watching and every single one of you listening were born from a woman. So nothing that you say matters right now. Only thing that matters is the truth. We all came from a woman. We all would not be in this world or this level of existence if it were not for a woman. So just by way of that alone, we should give enough respect. Since she allowed us to make it through that 9.5 months to be born into this life, can we do the same of protecting and preserving her life, seeing how she preserved ours? Just a basic principle. Basic principle. All women deserve some respect and protection. However, I'm a black man, so I'm specifying and I'm singling out and I'm highlighting black women because, again, you are the number one most disrespected. You are the number one most abused. You are the last to be married, the first to be divorced. However, you are also a part of disrespecting yourself. So work on that. Brothers, we have to work on respecting them regardless of whatever they say or do. We have to respect them. Don't force it on them, but just respect them. Open their doors, walk them to their cars. Make sure they get to their destination safely. Call them, check up on them. See how they're doing. You don't always need something from them, brothers. We don't always need something from them to check up on them. It's just very simple. Check up on them, see how they doing. Brothers, please start to exercise. You must train in martial arts. It's a beautiful thing because we are waking up more now. We are. As black people, we're waking up more now. We are realizing what's going on. We are loving one another more. We are supporting businesses more. We are definitely doing all of these beautiful things like we used to. We're doing so many beautiful things, so much amazing, wonderful things. However, let's not get it twisted and let's not get backwards. Let's keep doing these things. Let's keep building. Let's keep coming together as a people. I love y'all. Let's love our women. Let's protect our women. If anybody disrespects them and tries to attack them, we need to stand up like a solid wall and defend them. Period. With our words, with our fists, with our bodies, with our money, with everything that we have. And sisters, you must do the same for us. We have to come together as one people. We must do this for each other. Simple as that. I love y'all. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, great. He made a bunch of valid points. I'm not going to attempt to step all on it and address each issue because I think he did a very good job of pointing out some things. The thing that stood out immediately is the role of the U.S. government. We have been conditioned to believe that there's some level of moral turpitude that governs how this country operates. And the truth of the matter, it has never been. And all it takes is a visit down the annals of history to understand the role that this country has played in the destruction of groups of people for the furtherment of the entity. That's why we have so many enemies abroad, is because this country has no problem doing dirt to sustain its position. You don't get to a position of power on a global scale without doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And I'm not going to get into the depth of it, but we see it every day right here on our own soil. So it shouldn't be that far of a reach to understand that at a certain level, it's not beyond the idea or the scope of not just imagination, but reality in that the government is in some way aware, not only aware of, but benefiting from human trafficking. It's the second largest industry in the world behind arms shipping. It has supplanted drug trafficking as the number two. So you've got to know, we know for a fact that the U.S. government used the drug industry to fund a war in Central America. We know that for a fact. We know that it was a part of the Iran-Contra arms scandal. So we know that it does that as well. So to think that the government isn't involved or in benefiting in some way from underground and illegal activity is just naive at this point. It's the way the game has been played long before we ever touched down as in our own lives on this earth. This isn't something new. This isn't an evolution of any sort. This is a perpetuation of simply how things are done. What I want to focus on is the point that he made on the back end to me, which is significant. And it's another point that I've been pushing with great intensity, and that is the failure of the black man to protect the black woman. The first time I heard it was a speech that I observed by the person I consider to be my hero, Malcolm X. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but just someone I can identify with. And he talked about how unprotected, uh, uncared for the black woman was. And we as black men have made her an easy target. I have people who have come on this channel and the channel that was taken down and deride me because of the respect I show the black woman, because of the challenges that I issue to black men to rise up to be at a certain level. I was taught and I was reared by my great grandparents. So I was reared by a man who was literally one generation from slavery. His father was a slave, and he was born in 1909. And he was the son of a sharecropper, dropped out of school at the age of 7, the second grade, to go out into the fields and work just so the family could make ends meet. He was that kind of person, and yet he made something of himself with a second grade education, and he demanded a great deal from me. And he taught me some things about manhood that we don't see in today's man on any consistent basis. That first and foremost, my job as a man before I provide is to protect, and that I have to do that to the fullest extent of my capacity, meaning that there will be times in which my life may be on the line because I'm protected. And he taught me at an early age, your voice is getting deeper. You're getting a little bass in your voice, boy. Say, I see you developing some little muscles, as he put it, around there. And you look at your cousins and your sisters and the little girls running around here, they're not developing those muscles. So you know what those muscles are for? To make sure those little girls who don't have muscles are safe. He taught me how to treat a woman. He taught me that a man does not show his strength by putting his hands on a woman. He shows his strength by how he defends her, by how he speaks to her, by how he handles her. Another thing that Brother Rizza touched on that's extremely important, and that we teach our young boys at Black Men Lead, is that while it is important for Black women to understand that you play a role in protecting yourself, you play a role in how you're seen and respected, it is the Black man's responsibility to protect and respect regardless. See, we grew up on this idea that respect is completely and totally the result of what someone else does that allows you to observe them and then determine how you're going to treat them. No, respect that comes from me comes from within me. In other words, you have to give me a reason to disrespect you. And when it comes to Black women, I refuse to walk in that lane. Even when I see a Black woman calling herself out of her name, even when I see a Black woman carrying herself in a way unbecoming, even when I see a Black woman that has degraded herself, I refuse to treat her on that level, because I believe as a Black man, as a king, as a power, a covering, a protector, I have the ability to love her back to life. And I'm not just talking about in a romantic interest. I'm talking about any Black woman. I'm going to treat you the way that I envision you, not where you're at, but what you're capable of. I'm going to be a force that's going to be an influence that says, why does, and I've had people say, why do you do that? Why do you? Because I see something in you obviously don't see in yourself right now. And that's important. But here's the point. Because we allow our women to be degraded, because in some instances our women degrade themselves, and in many ways the music industry degrades Black women. There's absolutely no standard set. There's absolutely no message being sent that says if you bring harm to Black women, it comes with consequences. See, I've said this before. If you want to end an undesired behavior, you have to apply undesirable consequences. there's this idea of moral turpitude that people are behaving and doing what they're doing and everything based off of a moral standard. The truth is, the vast majority of people don't have that moral standard. Most people are operating off of the idea, I don't want to deal with the consequences. And when you don't have any negative consequences applied to something that people are willing to do because it benefits them and and they don't really care about the fact that it harms you, you leave yourself open, you leave yourself vulnerable. And here's the problem. It's up to us. And I've said this before, we will only get as high as our women can lift us spiritually, and we will only get as far as our men can lead us physically. If we don't provide the insulation, the protection, the covering, physically and spiritually, emotionally as well, but if we don't provide that for our women, all of the other elements of black group economics and education and ownership and so many other things that are so important to the overall empowerment of the black race means absolutely nothing until we fix what's wrong with black men and black women. Am I giving black women a pass? Hell no. I'm calling black women up, face up to the curb. We've got to do better. We've got to handle one another better. We've got to love each other better. You've got to carry yourself with an appreciation and understanding of the royalty and the purity that flows through your every cellular strand in your body. You have a responsibility to hold yourself in esteem, to hold yourself to an elevated standard. And that's something you've got to do. But this is what I want the black men to understand. Even when you see a black woman that doesn't justify you disrespecting her, or it doesn't justify you leaving her to experience negative things that you can stop. Because what I've learned about women, and I'm older than most of the idiots that talk about, uh, you know, that I'm being whatever it is, a bunch of stuff they call. I can't remember because I don't give that much attention to it, but I watch it sometimes and I'm looking at it and go, okay, okay. Rarely do I respond to it. I just delete him and keep on moving. My thing is, I don't have a problem with being with people disagreeing with me. I get people disagree with me all the time. I learn a lot from the people who disagree with me. I have a major problem with disrespect. I've grown, I've matured, I've settled down, I've really mellowed out in my later years. I'm in my 50s now, and so I see things different, and I don't react to things anymore. I respond, so I'm not reactive. So, but I'm still a person that demands respect. And you come at me the wrong way, I will check you. But most of the time, I just delete you because I see the ignorance in your idiotic statements, and I feel, and I stopped giving credence and energy to responding to BS a long time ago. But the bottom line is, we are going to be respected as men by the way we handle, protect, love, nurture, and care for our women. Not the cars we own, not the clothes we wear, not how much lip we can talk, not how many history facts we can recite. Uh, it's going to be, do our women feel safe in our presence? Do our women look to us for leadership? Are we handling our women in a way that the world knows they're off limits? Are we too busy trying to degrade them, point the finger at them, blame them, and all the other things we love to do? No other group walks around uh, just using the degradation of the black woman to justify their love for a non-black woman. If you choose to date outside of your race, that's your prerogative. It's not something I agree with. It's not something I've done, but that's your prerogative. But the moment you have to degrade a black woman to justify it is a problem. You have white men who date outside of their race. You have white men who date and marry black women. But tell me a time you've seen a white man, Latino man, or any other man say the reason I date black women is because whatever their race of women is does. That's not necessary. Make your moves. Be strong enough to stand on your move without having to tear someone else down. That's something else I learned as a man too. If I've got to tear somebody down to build myself up, the problem isn't them, it's me. And those are some things that we really need to focus on. So that's what I mean. We've got to do a better job of protecting our women and our daughters. We've got to do a better job of being on deck. I just posted on Facebook a news story where a guy is literally beating the brakes off of a female in Philadelphia in the streets. And there's literally a guy eating a bag of chips standing 13 feet away while somebody else is filming it. And he's beating her like she's a dude. And there's absolutely no reason for it. There is none. Only a coward takes off and tees off on somebody that can't defend themselves against them. There's other ways to handle it. And the fact that we can't handle it without putting our hands up. My problem is all the stuff that happens that goes on in our community that needs addressing on a physical and aggressive level. We're no-shows until it comes time to put your hands on a black one. Absolutely unacceptable. I'm going to leave it there, but I hope that this really touches home. I hope that it ignites a greater conversation. I hope that it inspires. This is a video that needs to get out to the masses. So I hope that you share it. We're still working on getting the original channel back up. We're doing what we can, all the way up until, if necessary, taking legal action, because it was taken down wrongfully. And so if nothing else, we want to recover the losses. So on that note, I'm going to be checking out here. Don't forget to support the work we're doing. Click that link and go support what we're doing. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. Okay, I was interrupted there, so I'm gonna try to finish what I was trying to get done. Look, we have to do a better job of protecting our kids, monitoring their phones, looking at what they're doing on social media, limiting their screen time. I watch situations where I see kids literally on their phone, constantly, and it's not helping. Parents, we're bad too. I've seen families out to eat and nobody's engaging each other. Everybody's on their device. And that's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about in another day. But you got to understand that the internet and social media is fertile soil and breeding ground for predators. And it's easy to groom a child. It's easy to throw bait out there with little risk. And these babies are getting offered money, gifts, travel opportunities, and they're biting on it, and they're disappearing forever. What you have to understand is sex trafficking is the second most lucrative industry on a global scale behind arms dealing. It's more profitable than the drug industry, the drug business, illegal drug business. And these babies are being kidnapped, and within hours, they're out of your city. Within a matter of a half a day or so, they're out of your state. In a few days, they may even be out of the country. And the chance of finding them within a few hours after they've been abducted is little or nothing, because these people are so systematic and precise with what they're doing. And so what I'm saying is, we've got to find a way to do a better job. We've got to find a way to love on our children. Look, I'm going to get off of here, get my head right, but it's just something that was on my mind. You guys take care. All right.
conceptual perspective to things. People talk about it as success. All of the elements they think, intelligence, expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Hey, how much am I willing to give up and commitment? And are not committed to the struggle, acquiescing to the struggle, they're committed.
Careful who you leave.
Hello everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in right now. Thanks first of all. Second of all, I just need to really iterate the fact that we need your help. We need your support right now. We are pushing to hit a goal of $25,000 by the end of this week. That if we hit that goal, it'll help us cover our goals for the first quarter. It'll help us consistently continue to do what we're doing with Black Men Lead, Restoring Ghettos Forgotten Daughters, our new program providing mental health services and resources, and so much more that we've been doing consistently. Again, we need your support like we've never needed it before. Thank you in advance. You have a great day.